Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BaHashem, YAHAWASHI, BaHashem, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this bound captivity. This is Brother Cup coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, I want to go into this video right here. I'm going to link this in the description so that you can watch it yourself. But basically, what happens, what this is about is it is a article. All right, I forgot which news it's from, but basically it's an article basically talking about how or it's asking, will 2026 be the year when quote unquote conspiracy theories about globalism are proven true? So first things first, let's actually get what the fuck. Slakia, bear with me one moment. So first things first, globalism. Let's look at what globalism means. Globalism definition is the theory or practice of administering or planning a political strategy, economic system, etc. on a global rather than national basis. Basically, what this means is around the entire globe, and the key term that we're looking at here is economic system. All right, funnily enough, that is one of the things that they had said. They didn't just keep it at political strategy or anything like that. They also said economic system. So one of these things is the MOTB. That is the economic system, or that is the thing that we're looking for. That's what this is the thing that we're looking for. Where's my thing? Wrong one. This is the thing that we're looking for, and we're hoping, comes to pass sooner rather than later, because this is what we need to see that, okay, yes, we're at the end. Now let's actually get this in Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, for the heathen are dismayed at the signs of heaven. So when they see, oh my God, the end is near, this, then the third, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 then that's when they get scared and they think, okay, well, all this bad stuff is going to happen and I don't have anything to protect me. And basically what that means is that they're not going to be protected by YAHAWAH simply because they don't follow after YAHAWAH. They follow after their own belly. They don't follow after what do I want for myself? How do I want to please and serve my own flesh rather than pleasing YAHAWAH? And that's where that selfishness and that wickedness, where as a matter of fact, let's actually get that also in Luke chapter 12 verse 21. Luke chapter 12 verse 20. But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? Basically, when there was a rich man who had all that he wanted carnally, but the issue was that when it comes to stuff spiritually, being rich towards Yahawadah spiritually, then okay, well, now we get to verse 21. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich towards Yahweh. Basically, you have all the money, you can protect yourself, quote unquote, protect yourself carnally, but even with your quote unquote protection, your money and all that stuff, literally anything you have that's carnal, that can protect you, sure, of course, but at the end of the day, it's not going to ensure your protection, because Yahawadah bypasses any sort of protection. You're not, if the Lord sends men to kill you, the Lord sends a disease, a sickness, whatever, all right, a natural disaster, then you're not going to be able to protect yourself. Your money's not going to save you. So that's why we try to be rich towards Yahawadah. All right, where as a matter of fact, let me also get that in. It was Proverbs. Proverbs 13 verse 7. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor. Slack, let me start over because I messed up royally. Proverbs 13 verse 7. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. Basically, if you have spiritual wealth, then that's where you have the riches. That's the spiritual wealth is the riches, and the carnal stuff, you don't have anything. If you have riches carnally, you're poor in the sight of Yahawah because you're more fixated on carnal stuff rather than the spirit. All right, you want to grow in the spirit. You want to have that spiritual wealth so that the Lord will show favor to you. All right. Now, let's continue on. Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is where we see a lot of these people, all right, who are starting to say, okay, well, it looks like things are happening, looks like all this stuff. And I'm not saying that definitively, oh, the Lord is returning in 2026. No, as much as I would love that that happens, and I'll admit that I'm praying that happens. All right, there is no definitive. Oh yeah, Yahawadah is absolutely coming in 2026. As much as I may want it, but the main point here is how, okay, so with this in mind, it's something to kind of take note of, because as we actually see a lot of the stuff like the MOTB actually soft getting implemented, where they're trying to incorporate digital systems into their their stuff, rather into into other societies, so then they can gradually say, okay, well, they're doing it in China, they're doing it in Europe, they're doing it here, and then they're gonna slowly move it to other places. Okay, I have heard, I forgot which country it was. I forgot which country. I think it was Netherlands or something like that. I think they are working on doing that type of stuff, and there could be more. I don't remember which ones, but there's been a lot of big changes that they're kind of trying to put in. So something to take note of and to remember and to watch out for. Okay, next, Revelation chapter 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So Yahawadah is on his way, and the devil knows that Yahawadah is on his way. So as a result of his knowledge of Yahawah's return, eventual and soon upcoming return, all right, he's trying to get all his stuff out now, trying to do all his wickedness, do all his evil inventions as fast as possible, and then he's going to put all that crap in and try to destroy the Israelites in general. All right, so something to take notice, something to remember. It's not anything that we can actually safeguard or protect ourselves from. It's just a simple matter of, okay, well, we just have to be patient and wait for the Lord to deliver us. But at the same time, Esau is kind of trying to push his wicked agenda out. So something that so we just have to be prepared for that. All right. And oh crap, that was not what I wanted to do, but it's fine. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And that's where we see these other nations. Okay, because that reminded me. Yes, BRICS. If you know about BRICS, BRICS has been a bit more. Is it in this? I'm pretty sure it's in this video more specifically. I was watching this one video where they were talking about BRICS maybe potentially expanding and adding more nations, but I forgot. Oh well, it's fine. But yeah, BRICS is literally specifically made to be against Babylon. And on top of that, as a matter of fact, I was looking for an excuse to use these videos. I'm trying to find. Oh, here, I think this is it. Yes, it is it. This is it. Perfect. Call him Yahawadah. I'm gonna let this video play all the way through. Let's let this video play all the way through, and then we will come back to it. I should have played it in the beginning, but it's fine.
Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, they are in talks with Iran as well to consider an economic alliance with China and Russia. And they can even be joining the BRIC countries, which is an acronym for these countries here: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries all have emerging economies. So what happens if our economy and the U.S. dollar are no longer the world's dominant currency? Former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, is here to weigh in. Monica, great to see you this morning. Let's start right there. What happens if these emerging economies move away from the U.S. dollar towards the Chinese yuan?
Well, good morning, Will. It's great to be with you. And it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the U.S. dollar. Look, there's a perfect storm happening right now, Will. The world's reserve currency, being that, having that status has been a real privilege, but we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policies over many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. On top of that, now you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war, and as you point out, because of all of these things, we've got America's enemies led by China forming a new economic bloc. And all it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, Will, is for Saudi Arabia, who has indicated that they're open to this, to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global economic system, but certainly the American economic system. And if that were to happen, you'd be looking at sky-high inflation, just raging Weimar Republic kind of inflation. If you think inflation is bad now, just wait. But more importantly, we would lose our economic dominance and we would lose our superpower status.
Monica, the world's reserve currency, you said it's a privilege for the United States for the dollar to have been the world's currency. How does that relate to each individual American? How has that changed or impacted or improved our lives throughout the last several decades?
Yeah, I mean, it's given the United States incredible dominance in the world in terms of the economic system and in terms of trade. It's kept prices down. So whether it's energy prices, whether it's your food prices, the entire global economic system is reliant on the safe and secure dollar. But that is no longer true, again, because we've been printing money like crazy and devalued the power of the dollar and the value of the dollar. But on top of it now, again, oil is the critical linchpin of this. If Saudi Arabia decides to join with America's enemies here and start trading oil in different currencies, that is going to undermine the entire global economic system. And here at home, you know what it's going to mean for us? It's going to mean raging inflation, so much worse than anything we have ever experienced, Will. And I'll tell you, they're setting it up so that they can then come to the rescue by introducing central bank digital currencies. If they were to do that, and the United States already has a pilot program, that means the loss of your individual economic freedom, because the government will have total access and control of everything you buy and sell, and the ability to turn it off like that.
So yeah, you basically heard all that. That's actually pretty concerning if I wasn't in the know. But yeah, basically the thing is that, you know, they are not, it's kind of like they're not really like trying to hide the fact that they're, I mean, if you ask someone who actually keeps up with this type of stuff, it kind of looks like they're not really trying to do it. Although DJT kind of, he says, from what I've heard him say, he basically says stuff like, "Oh, you have to play like this, you have to do this, you have to pressure people, you have to give them, you have to like kind of threaten them in a sense, in a business sense, like business threaten them." And then like people are saying, "Oh, yeah, cool," or the people that voted for him or that believe in him or whatever are thinking like, "Oh yeah, he knows what he's doing. He got us. He's gonna make everything better." But in actuality, the funny thing about that is that no, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's fucking the American economic stuff over, like to whatever degree that you can think of. Like, it is not going to get better. It's made like this because, as she said at the end, they're working towards the digital system, okay, which the digital system is just going to be something so easy for them to control. All right, something so easy for them to control that, okay, well, instead of paying with money, you have to pay with the injection, the lethal interjection. If you know about Boondocks, I think, is it lethal interjection? Fuck, I hate when that happens. Yes, lethal interjection. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna start calling it now. Lethal interjection. Okay. Anyway, you get the point. That's basically what their goal is right now. So yeah, all these other nations are mad at Esau, and they are planning their, I guess, coup d'etat, if you want to call it that, or whatever. Now, obviously not really a coup d'etat, but you get the comparison. So yeah, with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Wakwakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great meal, stone of ball, and shalom.